we often give value in like a monetary form, and then we think, oh, I've been giving all my life. When do I receive? Right? When is my karma going to pay off? When the manifestation going to come true? It's often because we never see the blessing, because we expect the form of the good karma coming back in the same form as it was given. So if we gave through money, we expect money to come back. If we gave through love, we expect love to come back. If we gave through listening and validation, we expect listening and validation to come back. Energy is transferred, but it's not always in the same form. I might give you energy in the form of heat. It might dissipate in the form of electricity. Someone does voodoo on you, but it doesn't work. It backfires because that's the way of your good karma paying off. You gave people money who were in need all your life, and although at your deathbed you never got a coin back, you lived to see your deathbed. Maybe you lived to 90. Maybe you got really sick with malaria or something that was life-threatening, and you didn't die.
Eating to live, yeah, I'm living to eat. Catch me enjoying vegan recipes. Fiend for chlorophyll.
Greetings, it's your boy Gartatia. It is 12:30 a.m. I am in Atlanta, Georgia. My brother's in the room next door, and I have to head out to the family reunion tomorrow at 6 a.m. And I'm sleepy, and I had to go to bed, but I had to get this out. Today, I want to talk about the value of not letting your beliefs dictate how receptive you are to new information that can completely change your perspective. So what do I mean? Me and my brother, we argue a whole lot, right? All the time. It's one-upsmanship. It's who gets the last word. It's, see, I was right, you're wrong. It's rubbing it in. It's all of that. And I'm really over it. I think it's childish, but that's a whole nother topic. Anyway, I'm glad to see him. And anywho, we get to arguing about the concept of giving and taking. And we get to talking about how my argument was givers empower takers by reliably giving to the takers, which makes the takers continue to ask and remain takers. So that's kind of what I was saying. I was saying neither is good or bad. Like, we tend to demonize takers and worship givers, but my point was that givers also play an equal part of they must be getting something out of it, because essentially humans don't do anything for no reason. We either do all of our emotions, all of our actions are either motivated by running towards pleasure or away from pain. So somehow, even the most kind-hearted giver, they're still doing it for one of those reasons, either to run away from something bad or to pursue something good. So that was my argument, and he kind of went on this rant about, oh, that's a bad way to look at it because the givers don't get anything in return, and the only thing that they get in return is good karma. The only thing they get in return is, it's magnify their blessings down the line. And that was his argument. He was like yelling and shit, and then pretty much I was like, that's not a good argument. They're still getting something out of it. Just because it may never happen, just because the manifestations may never come true, it still doesn't negate the fact that they still gave with the intention of getting some sort of benefit in the future from those actions. And there was a lot of yelling. I don't think either of us got our points across. It's constantly this, who can raise the volume of their voice the loudest. And I'm over it, to be honest. So I'm just like on the brink of like, listen, I'm just going to throw in the towel, and you can take this win. Like, I don't need the last word. But before I threw in the towel, I just asked one more further question. I asked, okay, so say that you do all these good things and say that none of your blessings come true. Say you do all these good things and not wanting to refuse the help that someone asked you so that you don't have bad karma, right? But I said, let's perhaps say you go to 60, 70, 80, or 90 years old, and you basically get none of those blessings back. How do you feel? That's a question I asked. And he's like, I don't feel anyway. I still feel blessed. And I was like, how can you be blessed if that you did a lot of giving thinking you would get something in return and you got nothing? And there was a point that he made that was really completely paradigm shifting for me, right? He said the simple thing that, well, you're thinking monetarily, but he said, maybe that good karma, that blessing coming back to you, came in the form of you being on a road and a truck coming by and barely missing you and you getting your life spared, right? And I was like, whoa. And then he was like, maybe the blessing could be in the form of you are, you've done something where it's your fault and an accident where, and don't paraphrase me. If you watch this video, he's going to be like, I didn't say that. But something to the extent of you're in a situation where things could have been really bad or something emergency could happen and you are pretty much given a second chance, right? And it's that concept of we often overlook that, like we often give value in like a monetary form, and then we think, oh, I've been giving all my life. When do I receive? Right? When is my karma going to pay off? When are the manifestations going to come true? Right? And it's often because we never see the blessing, because we expect the form of the good karma coming back in the same form as it was given. So if we gave through money, we expect money to come back. If we gave through love, we expect love to come back. If we gave through listening and validation, we expect listening and validation to come back. But he wrote a good point that, and it really follows the law of conservation of energy. Energy is transferred, but it's not always in the same form, right? I might give you energy in the form of heat. It might dissipate in the form of electricity. I might give you energy in the form of, well, I guess radiation is a form of heat, but I might give you energy in the form of friction, right? Or I might give you energy in the form of a force or work done on something, and then that work can create a friction, or that work can create a heat, or that work can create an electrical current. But at the end of the day, the input is equal to the output, but just the output is different from the input. And I was like, yeah, that's right. Like sometimes you do all these things, right? And he did a good analogy, like someone does voodoo on you, but it doesn't work. It backfires because that's the way of your karma, your good karma paying off. It didn't. You gave people money who were in need all your life, and although at your deathbed you never got a coin back, you lived to see your deathbed. Maybe you lived to 90. Maybe you got really sick with malaria or something that was life threatening, and you didn't die. Maybe you were diagnosed with cancer one day, and then the next day the doctors are astounded because there's no trace of it in your system. Maybe someone tried to hex you or put a spell on you, and you just shake it off because that's the karma coming back, right? Or you avoiding a fatal car accident. And I was like, wow, that's such a powerful thing to say. Like, yeah, you may hit the grave and never get that money back, but there's no telling how you're blessed you are and how much the karma has come back to you in other forms. So yeah, I just want to speak on that. How, yeah, I would have never kind of thought, I maybe would have thought of that, but that's not something I usually think about. So I appreciate my brother basically for pushing it and elaborating and explaining that point of view, which I would have never understood or even absorbed if I was constantly in a state of arguing one-upsmanship. So it took me kind of stepping back from arguing, like, I'm gonna listen to you objectively and not emotionally, and that's what allowed him to actually dig into the why behind why he has that belief, and that actually convinced me. And now, if I did believe in the universe and law of attraction and karma, if I was kind of on the fence, now I have a conviction before it, right? I'm more convinced because now I actually see a really good reason, right? And it's something that I've seen in my own life and the lives of others, that we are often looked over and taken care of in multiple ways from the good deeds that we do. But yeah, I know this video is like different. I don't have my setup and I'm shirtless and I'm like in a different place. But yeah, super excited. I am still gonna post these videos on my vacation. There is no break. I'm talking to the camera, and yeah. So always stay hydrated, stay breathing in that good ass oxygen, and most importantly, stay basic. I love you.